probably a good idea to subscribe right now. As we start with short ribs. These are boneless short ribs, and in order to get the best flavor possible on these, we are going to sous vide them. Another option is to braise them, but when you do that, the liquids extract a lot of beef flavor out of them, and you end up having to reduce the liquid at the end and add it back. By sous videing them, there is no liquid to extract any flavor out. Sure, there will be juices that come out, but it's minimal and they will retain their flavor. Start by seasoning them nicely with salt, pepper, onion powder, and granulated garlic. I always season them on both sides also. We'll take these and get them in the vacuum bag. I haven't done a whole lot of sous vide on this channel yet, but I do cook this way quite often. If you never have done this, I do recommend getting yourself a setup because it's really a great way to cook many things, especially meats that normally need braising. We use the vacuum sealer to get all the air out of the bag and seal it up. Even if you don't want to do the whole sous vide thing, I do recommend getting yourself one of these vacuum sealers and some bags for it because you can use this to marinate all kinds of things and also for long-term storage. It keeps foods extremely fresh for long periods of time. At this point, we are ready to go. Off to the water bath that I have set to exactly 170 degrees where we will submerge it completely. I'll let this go for many hours until I'm ready to eat later on. The longer you leave it in the water, the more tender it will become. For short ribs, I wouldn't go less than 4 hours and not really much more than 24 hours. We are going to make a sauce for our sandwich, starting with some mayo, to which we add a bit of some Dijon mustard and mix that all up nicely. You definitely want a decent amount of black pepper in there. Give that a mix. Take some fresh parsley and give it a rough chop. I don't like to chop it too fine here because I like a bit of texture in this sauce. You can be pretty generous with the parsley here too. Incorporate that all together and your sauce is ready to go. It should be kind of thick like this. You can refrigerate that for a while and it tastes better if it has some time alone in the fridge. I wanted a little bright crispy crunch on top of the sandwich, so closer to the ribs being ready, I took some mixed greens in a bowl and added some very thinly sliced white onions into it. The zest of 1 lemon. This will add a pop to the flavor, and if you've never done this before, I recommend trying this out in your next salad. You will love it. Make sure not to grate the white layer under the yellow peel because that's very bitter. Only the yellow peel gets grated in. Then add some olive oil. You want just enough to lightly cover all the leaves mostly. This is kind of a salad, but don't go too heavy on the dressing since remember it's going on top of a sandwich. Mix that in. I use my hand instead of a utensil so that I don't damage the leaves, and it's just more satisfying to do it this way, I think. Gotta hit it with some black pepper too and mix that in. And no, I'm not adding any salt this time because I am going to add a bit of some shaved Parmesan cheese. This will take the place of the salt and adds great additional flavor and texture. We are going to add in some lemon juice also, but not yet because always add your acids at the last minute. First, we need to finish our short ribs. So retrieve them out of the water bath. They've been going steady in there for about 7 hours at this point. When you cut the bag open, there will be a good amount of juice to collect. Do not throw that away. You definitely could make an amazing sauce out of this, but I'm going to freeze it for another time since I'm going a different route for this sandwich. Taking them out of the bag, they are super tender and ready to go except they have no sear on them, which we will fix by first patting them dry and then giving them all a quick blast with the torch. You could also use a pan or a very hot grill or the broiler in your oven to sear them instead, but I think the torch is the easiest method, at least for smaller amounts of food. Just look at that. Let's build this thing, shall we? Now's the time to add that lemon juice to the salad right before eating. Take the bread, in this case a hoagie roll, and slather that incredible sauce on. And yeah, I should have gotten a more crusty bread for this. You really want a bread that holds up very well. But I already had these at the house, so oh well, what are you gonna do? It's still awesome. I added some nice little tomatoes, all sliced up. A little bit of pep. I decided to slice the ribs lengthwise before adding a decent portion of them. Man, this is gonna be good. Then we top it with our nice salad. All the bright flavors of the tomato and salad will cut through the richness of the dense beef flavor and balance it all out. I've gotta say, this was a damn good sandwich. A bit messy, but I overloaded it because that's how I roll, with no apologies. This would also work in a pita wrap or something similar as well. Amazing flavors, and hopefully you give this a try. Like the video and subscribe, leave a comment if you want. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.